Like, you're just on the streets, and, like, the Joker's right behind you going, like, I'm going to kill you! And then you turn around, it's the fucking car instead. You're like, fuck,
Oh,
god
like
damn it.
Christine.
It's not even the real Joker.
It's just the car who does a very good impression of his owner.
I'm the
It's
Joker,
like you're gonna
baby.
die
Honk,
either
honk.
way.
You want to know how I got these tire scars?
You should know better, be bit the simple weather. Battle, battle, battle. Come on and take out your toys.
Hey, it's almost Christmas and also almost 2015. Almost 2015. Happy New Year. How are you people? It's the Pan Pizza Party podcast. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you?
I can't believe recording on a Monday. I'm
Yeah.
daft.
Cool.
I do art stuff, and I talk about art people.
I'm Jake Neutron. I still do FNF, but I think it's gonna start getting better.
And I'm wrecked. I still do FNF, and I talk about bad old video games.
Yeah, for someone who's not familiar with you, Rec D, what would you recommend them looking up?
I would say if you go to my channel, the featured video is Friday Night Funkin' the Musical Season 1, which is literally 2 hours of what is essentially an entire season of weird fusion of like a serial cartoon and lyric videos. It's like if Brundle Floss had a plot.
Oh, that's a blast from the past. Breno Floss. I met him
I mean-
3 times, I think.
I've met Brent a couple of times. He's a pretty cool
But
guy.
season 1A, that implies there's more seasons you're gonna post?
I'm currently in the middle of season 2. We're about to put out an episode that's like over 20 minutes long, hopefully this month.
Nice. I usually start with season 2 of TV shows. Makes it very interesting.
Season 2 is the interesting one. That's where things start getting a little crazy.
I often,
Yeah, like,
I often think about like, when you watch a TV show, season 1 is usually very different from season 4 because with season 1 they're still figuring out their footing. So it's like, is it really fair to review a show sometimes? Because I don't know. I think about that a lot. Where
Yeah, I mean with FNF Musical, I didn't even get the voice for the main character down until the 3rd one.
God, episode or
Yeah.
season?
Episode.
Okay,
episode.
just make sure.
Yeah, to be fair, the first one I didn't intend it to be a TV series, and then it just got all the views in history, and I'm like, okay, let's keep doing it. And of course, I have a bar for quality, which was my downfall, so it doesn't get as many views now, but I'm still happy making it. I actually have multiple.
it's like the dude who created Sherlock,
Yeah.
who just hates his work. I don't think you hate Friday Night Funkin', but he's like,
No.
everyone uses it. Everyone likes it. I tried killing my character. I tried murdering boyfriend.
Whoa. I don't.
Some of the
What is all this lore? None of this is making any sense to me. You're all speaking another
Oh,
language.
okay. Hold on. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle disliked that Sherlock Holmes was his most favorite work of the public and
Yeah.
killed off his character way back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
But the publishers and the public loved it so much, they kept bringing it back, and he hated that. He said, I have other stuff!
Nah, we don't care about that. We like Sherlock and what's the guy's name?
Dr. Doodle.
Benedict.
I'm sorry.
Bend my dick and come in or snatch. My favorite he plays Doctor Strange. That guy.
Can't
I'm just
stand.
imagining like 50 years from now, after the nostalgia critic is long over, there's just suddenly a million Melvin Brother of the Joker
Oh
adaptations.
man, no. Look, someone's got to carry on the mantle of nostalgia critic. You know, he passes down the torch to his like nephew or whatever.
He's like, now you must remember it, so I don't have to.
There was going to be a plot line in Justice League Part 2 that never came out, where Superman's son became Batman. So what if AVGN's kid became the nostalgia critic?
oh
too?
no,
That's the thing.
What is this?
If
It's Cobra Kai bullshit. No.
AVGN's kid is already making bad levels in Mario Maker that
Oh.
the nerd then has to play and says, what was she thinking in
Damn.
the videos?
It's a self-regulation, regulating economy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of very important kid stuff, Batwheels renewed for season 2.
Bat wheels? What the heck's bat wheels?
Wait, did
So
that Wheels already
imagine-
come out?
Remember when they made a joke in Teen Titans Go to the Movies where they said Batman's car would get something before Robin did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman's car
Yeah.
actually got a TV show.
Yay! Yeah, it's cars, but with Batmobiles.
Yeah.
And I like the
Pix-
character designs of the regular humans.
Pixar's
They're pretty good.
cars, but it's Batman.
You know
It's
what?
for babies.
At least Batwheels makes sense for sentience because it's just a robot. You know?
Yeah.
It's just a
I
robot.
mean-
Oh, yeah, this is literally just I'm trying to make cars.
The Cars universe doesn't really acknowledge humans ever at all, but this show, it's humans and cars work side by side, but for how long, we'll find out.
I'm just imagining there's just this graphic scene where one of them kills one of the humans.
Oh,
because
no.
they're under-
Everybody's
they're
got
like, we're
cars.
tired of it. It's like that one Brave Little Toaster movie where they actually try to genocide all of humanity and
What?
then are stopped by the power of Christmas.
I don't think that happened. Wait, did that happen?
No, it's the Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, and that is the actual plot. It's the same plot as that
Wait,
one
no, you're
episode
right.
of Space Dandy where QT turns giant.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
Hold on,
there's
wait.
just all of the appliances that are built to fail.
Oh.
Go to Mars
That-
and want to nuke the Earth to kill all humans on it.
That sounds like that Y2K Simpsons episode.
Is that a Joker RV and a rubber ducky car?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Penguin's car. Because he had a giant rubber ducky in Batman
God.
Returns and also Lego Batman, because that's what I'm working
Why
on.
why do all the villains have pupils and all the heroes don't?
Soulless.
You're evil if you have pupils. That's just the rule.
Just
You're
It's
very
just the rule.
soulless with the
Daring.
regular white glowish, blue glowish eyes.
They're all Luigi's Mansion ghosts just possessing cars.
Ooh. Oh man, that'd
Can
be
you
awesome.
imagine-
Ghost cars.
Like you're just on the
cars.
streets and like the Joker's right behind you going like, I'm going to kill you, and then you turn around, it's the fucking car instead. You're like, fuck,
Oh,
god
like
damn it.
Christine.
It's not even the real Joker.
It's just the car who does a very good impression of his owner.
I'm the
It's like you're
Joker,
gonna
baby.
die
Honk,
either
honk.
way.
You want to know how I got these tire scars?
Oh.
God, I was rewatching, showing a friend of mine's the fun differences in IMAX and regular Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it more screen.
I mean,
Yeah, it's way more epic.
you know, okay, I know they advertised that with The Dark Knight, like the movie, and like they said only some of the movies shot in IMAX, so it would just switch between like ultra wide and 16:9.
Yeah, because that's just expensive, my man. The first
Yeah.
movie to fully shoot IMAX was Endgame, if I remember correctly. It's either Endgame or Infinity
What
War.
is this, 4:3? I don't want to watch a movie in 4:3.
Oh my god.
It's great because when a character stands, they fill up most of the screen, rather than weirdly cropping it, or they'd be having a lot of weird space.
Yeah.
So they've gone so far that we've gone past widescreen and reinvented letterbox.
Yeah.
Well, that was the compromise that was made between TV and film. Let's have a combination.
Now it just looks empty on the top.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Now you know what they're gonna say next is, wait, we can put more on the sides if we stretch it.
Yeah, true.
You know what else is being combined?
It's just slowly turning vertical.
I'm trying to transition. Discovery Plus, HBO Max, will finally combine and be called Max.
That sucks.
Max?
Oh my god. That is
It's-
gonna be impossible to find information on.
Maxie.
It's like
Max?
you're looking up Max, you just get Max Goofy movie article.
Yeah.
Maxie, you bought a company?
How did we only make 2 films?
Why not just give it a whole new name? Why just turn it into Max?
You wouldn't understand, Dad.
Yeah.
Alternate universe where Max still grows up hating his father
No.
and becomes the new CEO of Max.
Yeah, like
It's destroying all the
Aw.
cartoons.
Max joins like one of the some shady website, gets looks into some free articles, and suddenly it's an extremist Goofy movie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch the Goofy movie and stuff, because it's like, I'm remembering it, but it didn't seem as goofy as I remembered it being.
Well, Extremely
subdued.
Goofy movie is goofier, but Goofy movie is better. Extremely Goofy movie has crazy animation, but the plot's a little bit Goofy movie has some of the most incredible performances I've ever heard in my life. And they're coming out of fucking Goofy!
Yeah.
It was a pretty bold choice,
You
I
guys
would
want to
say.
know? You guys want to know what one of the first search results is when you type in Max?
What?
One of them is a Warner Brothers site, but
Max movie.
Oh,
Oh, the dog
my
movie,
God.
Max. Yeah, the movie
Oh,
no one saw.
dog movie.
What's the movie about?
It's about a dog, and he was like a military service dog,
Wait.
and he gets
There was a second one called Max 2 White House Hero, and this...
Max 2.
They made a sequel to the dog?
Yeah,
Oh wow!
I'm guessing this
Oh
is...
wow!
If the first movie was PG-13... Wait, no, it looks like it's PG. The regular Max film is the most PG you can be without being PG-13, and this just looks like... You sure you don't still want to make this G? You sure?
I love that like the poster for Max 2 looks like phenomenally worse than the first poster, which
The people don't even look like they're actually standing over the grass. They look like clip art.
yeah.
Yeah, the original Max poster, which if you're watching on YouTube, you can see right now. It's photoshopped, obviously, but like they're there. You know, you could see that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They took this with a nice camera. The second picture, that's not even the same dog.
Nah,
Yeah.
You didn't want to turn it for the sequel.
that dog's just been busy.
The sequel, all you gotta do now is just gotta put like 5 obscure 90s cartoon characters on it and submit it to the Pooh's Adventure Wiki, and one of them will say, "That family's not actually there. You added that."
Oh, I
I'm
still
looking at
have
this,
the.
like, the characters. The characters in the second poster look like they're. It looks like those kind of like rom-com type things. It almost looks like a Disney Channel Wizards of Waverly Place poster.
Oh my god! And the dog is just gonna. There's just gonna be the same clip of the dog barking every 5 seconds, and they'll just overlay the voiceover on it.
Bork. It's always with straight to DVD sequels where they just hang out the present for a bit, like Dr. Dolittle, Tale to the Chief.
Oh my god! I forgot that was a real movie.
Dog,
The
what?
straight to DVD stuff.
Tale to the Chief? There was more than one like Dr. Doodle like spin-off?
I guess.
Yep.
It's crazy.
There's the Dr. Dolittle 4-pack. There's 4 of them.
What? Who watched these movies? How much comedy can you possibly get from these films? I'm sure the first one's probably funny, but I don't know about like
I'm sure.
you know he's a
There's more than 2 Beverly Hills Chihuahua movies, so you know.
Straight to
there's always
video.
a way to squeeze more out. Yeah.
I can't believe they have their own Dr. Dolittle Nick picks.
I think which I think it was the Clumps or some Eddie Murphy movie. I remember one of my earliest memories was being in the theater, and I think Eddie Murphy was making out with some woman on a beach, and then she sinks into the bottom of the ocean of the sand, like quicksand. I think it was the Clumps.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, which is a real
Right.
title.
Yeah, that is the Clumps. Yes.
Yes.
Which sounds like something that'll kill you, like clog your arteries.
Yeah.
Doesn't
No.
he play all the cast?
Hell yeah!
Or something. in
That's
this
how
one?
talented he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, and then he's like, this will work again with a different movie, and then Norbit happened.
Yeah, like I remember seeing that scene of the lady sinking into the underneath the sand and thinking, if I go to the beach, that'll happen to me. Quicksand.
Yeah, quicksand really wasn't as big as a problem as I thought it would be in my adult life. It's still an issue, by the way. If you
Yeah.
live in a city area, you can still see a homeless guy just sink into the ground once in a while. But like other than that, you just like hop over them.
Yeah, no, they're not too bad. You just gotta remember to mash the X button at the right time. If you mash it too fast, you'll fail the QTE and die in real life.
The
Can't swim in
QTE
sand.
die in real life.
Dying in real life is a great transition.
No, the QSE, the quicksand event.
Who the
What could we possibly be transitioning to?
who the hell wants the Nutty Professor in HD DVD in? I like how they advertise the look and sound of perfect. Like
I love HD DVD because it was trying so hard to exist specifically and only so Microsoft wouldn't have to pay Sony for the rights to use Blu-rays on Xbox 360.
yeah. Why the hell does anyone want to see this in HD?
But the transition goes to the Guillermo del Toro / Mark Gustafsson film Pinocchio. It's 2 directors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many
Mark-
of you guys saw it?
I saw the
Oh,
whole
that's-
thing the day it came out and I loved it.
To preface, hold on.
Huh.
You saying why are the 2 directors? What did Mark do? He did the California Raisin Show, the PJs, and a bunch of other claymation stuff. So they had to get him on.
They imported him from Will Vinton Studios,
Yeah.
which turned into Leica.
Stop motion experience director. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like Vinton stuff. I can buy that.
I mean, yeah, I love the way Pinocchio moves. He's supposed to like. There's a lot of mixture of emotions in this movie. I only saw the first half because I got interrupted with stuff. But just the way that he's supposed to be so gleeful yet so slightly mischievous unintentionally. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was just a dick when he was first alive. He's like, "What is this thing? Smash! What is this thing? Kick!"
Bust
Yep.
this. Set this on fire. Hell yeah. Fire. Yeah.
Fire.
And
Yeah, he sets himself on fire even.
I was first watching in Spanish because when I clicked on Netflix, Pinocchio, it just sent it to Spanish, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll watch it with subtitles
In
then."
Espanol.
And then like 30 minutes through, I was like looking up trailers and looking up info about it. I was like, "Wait, Ewan McGregor? I didn't know he speaks Spanish." wait a second. And so I had to finagle with the settings, and then I watched the rest of it in English, and I was like,
Yeah.
I would have watched the original if it was in Spanish for subtitles, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep looking up. I want to appreciate the animation
How would
and appreciate the dubbing.
you rank this to the other Pinocchio movies you've seen?
I've only seen one other Pinocchio movie.
Well, you know.
The 1930s Disney one.
Yeah.
All right.
This one's way better.
So I would say out of all the Pinocchio movies I've seen, yeah, this one's definitely on top of Disney. I'd say first this one, then Disney, then the Pinocchio anime where Pinocchio tries to kill a child to become a human by stealing his humanity. Then the 60s Belgian Pinocchio movie where Pinocchio goes to Mars with a twirtle, which is a space turtle, so he can yell at the whale, which is now a whale asteroid trying to crash into Earth and illuminate all life. And the way he thinks he is going to stop it is by screaming, "You're hypnotized!" at the whale at the top of his lungs.
You're brainwashed,
repeatedly.
you sheeple. You're fucking sheeple. You can't think for yourselves. Think how I think.
My favorite part about the movie, about that one in particular, is that there is 2 songs in the movie. Both of them are immediately at the start of the movie, and neither of them have anything to do with the plot of the movie. There's an opening song about a little toy shop, and then there's a song where Pinocchio sings "It's a Great Day," and then there are no more songs once they get to space.
That sounds like the Bob's Burger movie. There's like 2 songs, they gave up.
I like looking at this art and everything of Pinocchio because it's like, it's just his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
it.
his nose. That's it.
Well, what else do you know Pinocchio for? He's got a nose that grows.
No, it's like, I want to be a real boy. It's like you're like 30, 50, 75% there. Why do you want to be a real boy? You're in space. You can breathe. with
Okay,
no
you know
air.
what the best part is? You know why he's like that? You know the actual reason they give why he's like that? There's this,
Why?
the fairy says, well, Pinocchio was a good boy and he became a real boy, but then he started being mean and he did some bad things and he just turned back into a puppet again.
Wait, that's like part of the contract. If you just be an asshole to people, you'd become wood again.
You become wood again, yes, according to this one.
This art looks a lot nicer, like a faux Disney kind of thing.
There was like, for a while, I discovered the fact that there's an entire genre of fairy tale, but in space, and this was one of the several movies I discovered.
But circling back to the Toro one, pretty heavy stuff. It's the 1930s in fascist Italy. And you're like, oh, and like Pinocchio, you're immortal.
Yeah.
You can't really die. And he's like, yippee!
Hell
Yay! What does
yeah.
that mean? And they're like, the stipulations. Every time you die, you must wait with me for a bit longer. And he's like, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. There's actually something really funny, because like right after that...
Whoa, hang on. I haven't gotten that far, so I'm like,
Okay.
oh no.
All right.
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about anything before the first time he dies.
yeah,
Before
yeah.
the first time he dies. Okay, before the first time he dies. Gotcha.
Yeah, for the audience, because this movie's
Yeah,
apparently
for
really
the audience,
great on
there's no-
Netflix.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth watching. Highly recommended.
So Geppetto has a kid that dies.
Geppetto as a kid.
His name is Carlo. And he's just like super drunk. Like for 15 years, it feels like, apparently.
Yeah, they just make him. They really just absolutely pound in how miserable this man is. It's like the first 20 minutes of the movie is just Geppetto's happy, and then Pinocchio dies, and for like 15 of the 20 minutes, he's going "Oh," and drinking, and he's just miserable.
I'm gonna make a real boy out of wood.
Which is what happened in his drunken stupor. He's like, I'll finish him tomorrow. And then he passes out on the stairs. And the angel's like, I want to make this old man happy. Instead of bringing his son back to life, here's some wood.
Yep.
Yay.
Which I'm glad they did, or else they would have had to deal with the consequences of bringing someone back to life.
Yeah, don't think about it. It's a lot to
Yeah.
think.
Pinocchio just suddenly turns into a zombie movie.
Oh man.
But the town had a very accurate reaction to seeing a almost wooden boy thing come to life. They're like, that's the devil, literally the devil. And in most other cases, I'd be like, that's a bit over-exaggerated. I'd be like, no, this is the 30s.
Yeah.
You're in a church. That thing is
Yeah.
talking. I'm gonna burn it.
Hell yeah. It's like, I don't trust that thing. Rip its arms off.
What'd you think of that aspect, Jake? Everyone just fucking hating Pinocchio immediately.
I haven't seen the film.
I thought you said you hadn't seen the film.
No,
All this time we gave you, we delayed another day so you can
I'm
see
the
the
one that
film.
watched an entire movie.
Oh, wow.
I'm the one that watched the movie.
Okay, so we both watched it. Pan watched half, and Jake watched none of it.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the audience.
You're the audience.
Okay. Do you have any questions that we can like probably hint at or answer?
Let me
Or-
think.
or go
does
through?
does he get a happy ending?
No. It's bittersweet. Like, what's the best way to describe it?
Without spoilers.
Without spoilers, Pinocchio's happy and everyone's dead.
Oh.
That's as vague as I can make it, and you're like, how is he happy? Guess you have to watch it.
Yeah, like why is he happy? That's a good I guess that's a good way to put it. Now you're wondering why everyone's dead.
Yeah, like, did Pinocchio cause World War II?
Did they steal the plot where Pinocchio kills a human to become a human?
There
out
was that
eventually.
interesting to end it on like one note, then we go to like next topic. The next logical conclusion from oh my god, everyone's afraid of Pinocchio is this fucking thing can't die. Put him in the army. And it's like that tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like Hitler way back when was going like magic exists? And then he's wasted a bunch of time and money on that.
Oh,
Shit
man.
about that. It's really funny.
What a waste.
Like, can you imagine the people tricking Hitler going like, "Oh, magic, that definitely exists. Give us a lot of funding." And they didn't do anything with it. They're
Oh.
just like, "We're trying spells, Mr. Hitler, but the blood isn't working."
Oh.
Give us
blood isn't
spells.
working.
We'll make Gandalf. We'll make Gandalf for
They
you.
also did that with the US. The US is like, "Let's figure out if telepathy works." And then two guys in the office said, "I know a psychic."
Oh.
And it's like them in a wig.
I relate to that. I relate to those Nazis. Well, remember one time.
You can't just say that, but go on.
Yeah,
on.
you
White
really don't
thing
want
to
that to go
say.
out of context,
Okay, wait,
man.
hold on. Okay, I relate to people trying to discover magic because one time I watched Pokemon, and it was the episode where they fight Sabrina, the gym leader, the psychic gym leader, and like they go to like some institution where a bunch of people were like getting spoons, and they were trying to bend spoons with their mind. So I was like, whoa, I want to do that. I was trying to like do that myself, like trying to push my thumb against it and push the spoon. Yeah.
Well, there is a lot of fun sleight of hand stuff that you can do for magic, like the illusion. But like magic, bit silly.
Yeah,
But science is essentially magic. Like, you mean I'm talking to another person across the world? That's kind of magic.
Yeah. I mean, the definition of magic is doing something without being able to define how.
Yeah.
Like, not without anyone being able to define exactly how.
Going back to Pokemon, they all like there was that episode I had a VHS, the episode where they go to Bill's lighthouse. They had a camera phone that had like where you could talk to people, but it also had a video on it. You know, a video screen. It's like, whoa, that's the future right there. We'll never get there. Yeah.
No,
I remember
here we
the
are.
old Inspector Gadget's watch phone that they had. It was just like 3 buttons, and you can see the other person. We're actually almost there. I mean, we have the
Yeah,
Apple
yeah.
Watch, but you can't, you can't show your like face with it. There's no camera.
Oh.
I think one of the funniest gags is aged super poorly. I think it's in the first episode of Get Smart, which is like the original '60s spy parody. It opens with Maxwell Smart sitting in a movie theater, and then a phone goes off. And the joke is, why would a phone go off in a movie theater? So he has to walk outside to take the call.
Oh.
And now that's not even just like, that's not absurd. That's just an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. It's like except this guy didn't. Except in real life, nobody actually goes out into the
Yeah.
hallway.
It's like, yeah, I'm just watching some movie. It's like Sonic or something, whatever. Right as the big battle is happening on the final screen. Yeah, it sucks. Anyway, how's the kids?
I remember when payphone. Actually, I don't. I'm actually lying for the sake of this conversation.
Aw.
The idea of payphones just existing, and you would just kind of like call people, like, "Hey, mom, can you come pick me up at this location?" Because there wasn't like you couldn't screen for calls or anything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It didn't say like, "Oh, this is a payphone that's being used by this person." It's like, you want to collect this call from this person?
Yeah, I remember seeing videos on like old payphones and the now obsolete and impossible practice of phreaking, which is essentially old phones would use a certain set of tones or lights to indicate that it's been paid and you set up for the call.
Huh.
So they would just like play the tones or flash the lights, and then they just basically unlock the payphone.
Interesting. I could use this next time I'm at a payphone. Yes.
Where you're
I don't think it works anymore. I think phreaking was such a thing for so long that they just stopped doing it. They
well, if you ever
stopped
go
doing
back in
those.
time, I guess.
Yeah, if you go
can use
back in
that.
time, you can freak till you freak.
There's a hard thing about going back in time, besides a lot of things and physics. Money.
Yeah.
You can't just bring back 2010 bills. You have to bring like 70s and 80s bills.
You have to bring back 70s. You have to go through every single one of your dollars and make sure it's not from a year after. So, like, you could have $500 and only be able to take 15 of them to the 70s. Maybe take 3 of them to the 60s.
Damn.
And they would just assume it's like counterfeit if you try to bring
Yeah.
anything larger.
And they would also say, hey, why is this money so torn up and worn? Why does it look so old? Why does it look old when it's supposed to be brand new money?
All you have to say is strippers. You'd be like, okay,
yeah.
I get it. Where it's like, you ever heard of drugs?
Yeah, every drug's worth trying once.
It was into the washing machine.
There we go.
Speaking of going to the wash, I don't think I'm using that phrase correctly at all.
Spider-Verse into the washing machine. Yeah.
I was going to talk about the final season of Animaniacs, but go on.
That came out?
No, it's February 17th.
Ah.
Apparently, I was showing Jake earlier late last week, earlier this week. How does time work? That they posted the trailer and they deleted immediately, and it said final season. And then they released it a bit later and said, okay, I guess it is the final season, guys.
Oh, that's
And
a shame.
it seemed to be, the trailer specifically didn't seem to be the main trailer. It seemed to be like one of those ones that they like post after the main one, bringing hype, because it barely had anything in it. And it was focused mainly on Pinky and the Brain.
I do like this.
Yeah, I've noticed that Pinky and the Brain has almost more focus than the Warners in the reboot.
Really?
Yeah, because they show up
degree.
in the Warner stories sometimes, and they have as many segments as the Warners.
Hopefully in the season 3 they bring back some of the old characters.
Yeah, we're not going to see Minerva Mink, but I'd love to see Rita and Runt. It would be fun to see, obviously, Slappy Squirrel, which is the best segment.
Please, Slappy.
Has Freakazoid shown up at all?
Freakazoid got his Teen Titans Go crossover episode, and I hope we get something more than that.
I mean, it would be a funny thing that they would do at the very end. Freakazoid's at the last episode, the end credits going, I'm ready for my close-up. Wait!
I think it would be even better. Like he just gets there and he's panting. He's like, oh, "I told you we'd meet again," and then it cuts to credits.
No, that's the credits thing.
Or he just doesn't want to come back on. It's like, I put up the mantle a long time ago. Like he's in a gritty reboot.
Oh my god!
But reboots or seasons. Have you seen Yellow Crystal Fantasy?
No.
Not. I know it's by the same people that made Bushworld Adventures, but somehow I just never checked it out.
There's a sequel. And I call it a sequel in the style of the Aqua Team Hunger Force later seasons. Because the next season, which is last season had a story arc. This one's called Yellow Silver Destiny.
All right.
And that would be premiering, January 22nd. And it's noteworthy, I would say, well, because I like his stuff. But also, whenever they air the episode, the day after, it'll automatically appear on HBO Max. I say that's important, because for Rick and Morty, they don't do that shit. They just wait a long time. It's like, don't you want to boost your HBO Max subscribers?
I guess they're still they're still stuck on the idea that TV viewers are not all over 60.
Reminds me, kind of reminds me when Smiling Friends came out. Wasn't there like a contractual obligation where all the episodes of the season had to be on TV before it goes on HBO Max?
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, and they tried so hard to kill that series. They dumped it all in the middle of the night, the entire thing.
No. It was a surprise.
Oh, they actually intended that?
Yes. It was a joke on the Adult Swim Twitter as well, where people were saying, like, my family already took the home TV. I can't watch the rest of the season. And they said, go take it back. And it worked. It was, like, the highest rated of that time slot for the whole length of the period. And I'm like...
I mean, to be fair, it's also 1 a.m.
Yay.
It's not exactly hard to get.
Rude.
I remember I was in a call with Pan, and we watched the first episode, and we're like, can't wait for the next one. Wait a second.
It just never
It
ended.
just kept playing. Yeah. Smiling Friends was fun, though. The freaking Brazil episode.
Well, I kind of thought the Brazil episode was the weakest, but yeah, I liked the first half, but I think it's a joke that ran on too long, even though that's the point.
Yeah,
but...
it did go a little long, but it was definitely surprising.
Yeah.
It's only something that can work once.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't actively go out of your way to watch that again.
yeah.
You wouldn't watch it again.
Unless they had, like, a sequel to it, where it's another standalone one of them trying to book their flight.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, a overarching
please.
6-piece miniseries of them trying to get home, but it's very hard, but also very boring.
Oh.
I feel like you can only make so much boring TV. It's like that one episode of Invader Zim they made to save the budget where it like barely changes the positioning of the camera.
Oh, yeah. Panty and Stocking
Zim
did the
makes
same,
waffles.
I think.
Yep. Oh man, we're
What
getting
about,
we're getting new Panty and Stocking finally too, aren't we?
A lot of season 2s of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Wait.
that's-
Another thing that like recently had a new like. I think the first episode came out yesterday or 2 days ago, but the only place to view it was Roblox with Sonic Prime.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a whole
What
can
the
of worms. I
fuck?
know.
Well, that'll be released in 3 days, so we don't have to wait too long.
There
Yeah.
is way too much to talk about with that to even settle it in an hour.
That'll be its own episode next week, I guess.
Yeah, gotta
Excited.
watch the new
Although-
Sonic Prime next time.
Although I will say
Yeah.
of what I saw, very great, very awesome. It's the only thing that'll get me to go back to Roblox. I did not have fun on Roblox.
I ain't going back there. I ain't going there to begin with. I've never been on Roblox. I thought it was like a Minecraft ripoff, but it was like, oh no, it's a whole different thing.
I've tried it like once. I did it for a stream because my girlfriend voice actor really wanted me to try it, and it was bizarre.
Like the Sonic Speed Simulator thing is one of those games. These games really want you to spend money, and they will.
Yeah,
like,
no, they're
make
straight up
the game
gambling in
hell
some
if
of
you
them.
don't.
No man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you will-
actually pretty insane.
You will move extremely, like excruciatingly slow in the Sonic Speed Simulator until you build up like XP and points. And
Well, I see some great
it's-
things with what you can do with the Roblox engine in general.
I mean,
Like
it's a very
recreating a
capable
security
engine.
breach.
It's a very capable engine. It's just the fact that it's used by all the worst people.
Yeah, you could do
What?
cool stuff. in
Or
there.
someone recreated Battlefront in Roblox. So it's like
I
mom
saw-
took away my game console.
Oh my God.
Someone had like recreated Sonic Unleashed pretty accurately in Roblox. It's scary to a degree where like I was watching a video and then at the end of it revealed that it was a Roblox game. And I was like, "What? That's not just Sonic Unleashed on Xbox?"
It's
So
like
they
a
could do
jump
that
scare.
stuff. But like for whatever reason, so far all the like Roblox servers that I've like popped into, they were just oh my god, they were a headache.
I can only imagine.
Speaking
It's
of
probably
headaches,
because
it's
of
a
the
lot,
most
it's a lot
popular
of little
ones.
kids.
trying to transition to the last topic before we get to break.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Rick.
Rick. Recreational Mortpoon's Rickmas Mortcation
Yeah. What's this?
is
Oh, I guess I'll explain.
it's
the
a
episode.
Christmas episode.
Yeah, where Morty gets a lightsaber, although he ends up dropping the lightsaber like face down vertically, and it's just sinking to the bottom of the earth. And it's like, that's kind of like what I liked about Rick and Morty, where it's just like, they'll have a sci-fi trope that's so common that it's like, what would happen if this were to happen? Like they parody common sci-fi tropes, and this is one of those like return to form type of episodes.
And it's interesting because if you go with the standard lightsaber crystal, the Kyber shits,
Yeah.
they don't really lose energy. They just kind of still do things. You know what I mean? So like it wouldn't run out if they did this, but the Jedi would just like force it up. They would like force it back up to their hand.
Yeah.
And so this creates an interesting dilemma for them, where it's like we have to go save this lightsaber.
Yeah, otherwise it hits the bottom of the earth and explodes the earth, I think.
Yeah.
Do lightsabers just never like get disrupted?
Well, okay, and I've noticed anytime in the movies, like anytime somebody drops a lightsaber, it powers off automatically.
Well, so lightsabers themselves can explode and like break, but that's usually because of someone else. Or like Kylo Ren has a cracked crystal, and he's forcing it to be in like a sword kind of shape.
Yeah, it's all jittery.
But we
Why
have another
doesn't the-
episode.
Why doesn't the lightsaber like become destroyed by like the pressure of getting closer to the core?
I'm sure the way to
Shut
explain
up.
it is Rick found a very good lightsaber.
Yeah.
That's or if you're going to reveal the twist, because by the time this episode airs, if you haven't seen the new Rick and Morty episode, I mean, come on, it's been a week.
We're
since
not. It's not that scientific. Don't think about it.
It's a robot. Rick was actually a robot this whole time.
I already knew that because Adult Swim uploaded a video that said Rick is a robot in the title, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that's the big spoiler.
I can't keep track of all this different lore of Rick and Morty. What's the deal with another robot?
An issue that I have that Jake has a contentious opinion to. We talked about this prior. Rick was only a robot since the last episode. That's it.
Oh, that doesn't even really impact anything then.
Yeah, if they had a Rick and King Mortar's Mort as like the second or first episode, well, not the first episode because they would be like blah blah. If it was the second episode, that would make sense. Where it's like my grandson doesn't respect me. Now I'll make a robot, but that also defeat any character growth that he has as a person. But they weren't going to do that anyway because at the end is revealed he's still trying to find Rick Prime. And Jake has a differing opinion on that.
See, to me, I'm glad that it wasn't that, like, the whole season he had been a robot, because, one, that would have been a very easy cop-out to ignore all the other kinds of progression that Rick had throughout the season, making that a robot, especially since they're going to fucking kill the robot. I would have been like, no, you've lost my interest as a show. I'm dropping this. There's no way you're going to do that with the character. Reveal that all that, like, investment or, progression that they've had was fake,
but it does make sense
why keep up.
The Rick and for the end of episode 9 as a refresher, they fall into a vat of fake sun. So that would make sense why Rick was just re-tapping into old stuff that he already done, because he would know that Morty hates the vat of acid. The previous season. Ooh, remember that episode?
For me,
I remember the Vat of Acid one. I haven't watched Rick and Morty regularly since like season 3 or 4.
I think a good episode out of the newest season would be Analyze Piss.
Great title.
In that episode, Dr. Wong comes back and very toxic with Rick and just says, "Why do you keep fighting these people? Why don't you just ignore them?" And it works.
Huh.
Like, someone else fights this person. This guy who just sprays piss on people. I don't want to spoil that one because that one's very good.
All right. Yeah, sure.
It's pretty iconic. While with this episode, it kind of like solidified to me, like, I don't know if I want to like keep paying attention to Rick and Morty as much as I did before. Because, like, it's clear what I like from the show. The show knows I and other people like, but doesn't really like doing it.
In terms of what aspect?
Mainly in, like, I really love Rick and Morty for its characters, the way they interact, and the way that they can build off of each other on like a long form story. I don't need Rick and Morty to be super serialized, but it gets a little boring when like they just kind of throw Rick and Morty into like meta stories that are meta to be meta and not saying anything about them as characters.
Yeah,
you mean full
like,
meta Jack Rick.
Yeah, there was one entire episode where it's just, this is all the villains who have the powers to be the parts of a story. This guy makes you a protagonist. This guy gives you a sad ending.
No, I did like, find the protagonist thing funny. They followed a random security guard around for a bit.
That was fun.
And that stuff can be fun and fine, but like it's when it's the only interesting thing they're doing in the episode, I might as well not be watching.
I kind of have an issue with that team of heroes that are all meta. It's like, but the whole show is meta. It doesn't really, I don't know, I feel like it kind of loses the punch if the whole show is already meta and you just got these meta heroes.
I think like the last time Rick and Morty had genuinely gripped me was the season finale where he checks himself into prison so his family can go home and get off the crappy planet.
Was that before or after the 70 season, Jesus Christ, 70 episode order?
I think it was before.
I think it was, I think so. That was early on.
For me, like the beginning of this season gripped me a ton because I thought the opener for this season was really, really good. Not as good as some of their other like really high highs, but it was like a really good introduction to what I and many people thought they were going to do. And then like it had a few other episodes that were pretty strong, and then it became clear that they weren't really doing anything new, and anything that they did want to bring back, they killed in that episode. Like that one episode with what's his name, the story lord, whatever. They kill him in that episode that they bring him back, and I'm like, okay, well that's lame.
Well, it's like how they made this whole big deal that the central finite curve is gone, and that they have to repair the portal gun. And in episode 6, they kind of just do that. They said, "Hey, Morty, it's fixed. Hey, it's fixed. We're good. It's all fine now." And it's like, you want to do a little bit more of that? You know, like maybe 2 episodes about trying to fix it, and then you get distracted.
Like they brought that up, and that it's not really ever. There's no payoff. This season has a lot of like setup and no payoff. In fact, the whole season is setup. The entire season is setup. Especially after seeing like that last episode of the season, all that shit was set up. You're not gonna get a payoff this season.
And you know what we're setting up for?
What are we setting up for?
The break.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick little break, and then Rect or Rec-D, depending on how you want to mispronounce it, we'll be answering some questions.
Yay!
Both
Ready for
right
that,
and
Rec-D?
wrong.
We're always in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers. Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers. Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run.
Hey, questions. If anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find, and post them in the YouTube comments of this YouTube video, or go to our fan Discord, the Q&A section. Yeah.
Okay, I was looking for the ping on Twitter.
We actually got a lot of great questions already. Typing in the Discord, we're live seeing people. We're just gonna out some names. The Dude 97, they type something. Clownweed type something. DH1 type something. There's a lot of people. If we said your name, said your name from that little Discord chat, you should definitely type it in the comment section. Engagement question for Pan. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Not another Christmas ska punk person says, Pan, can you tell us what your favorite ska song is, if any?
Dang. Damn. Off the top of my head, I got all the that's so much.
What
to
about
think about.
Take On Me, the remix for Basketball?
What the fuck you
Or
talking about?
Beer by Real Big Fish?
Possibly.
Or Sell Out?
Sell Out, of course. That's a good one. Yeah, that's the dream, just to sell out and just not have to worry about nothing. Yeah. Let's see, there's I remember Ska-Tune Network, they recommended what was that, Lincoln band?
There's also...
Kill Lincoln. Yeah, that's a good ska band. That's a newer one.
What about the Aquabats?
Oh, of course.
Or the Mighty
yeah.
Mighty Boss Tones?
Yeah, those are basic bitch ones, but you know, it's like damn, other ones I'd recommend. Well, Ska-Tune Network also has their own set of songs, not under the Ska-Tune brand name, but Jer. I love those.
Well, you could just say Ska-Tunes.
Ska-Tunes. Yeah. Do you guys got any other ska songs you like?
Unfortunately, this is only for Pan, but
Oh,
It-
yeah, I guess.
hopefully None Other Christmas Ska Punk allows this. You guys should say your favorite songs. We're at the mercy of None Other Christmas Ska Punk. So
I don't know if it's Christmas per se, but I really enjoy the
when
just
I
the
said ska songs.
the entire soundtrack for Incredible Crisis on PS1 is crazy good.
Oh,
and,
yes.
and the main theme from Oh No, which is a game where you play as two shirtless kids stomping through the street in like a weird endless runner parappa thing,
The
is
hell?
way better than it has any right to be.
Mm.
It's called Tripping the Ecstasy.
Tripping the Ecstasy.
Wait, the
Yeah,
game's called
here,
Oh No,
I'll-
but Tripping the Ecstasy's the song.
Oh no, hold on. Riding the XTC, that's what it is. Riding the
Oh.
XTC. Here you go.
Riding-
It's like the best way you can describe this is like ska penis music.
Hell yeah,
Not
that's
ska
the-
penis music.
This I gotta hear.
We're gonna play a quick little clip. Alright, I hope you liked it.
Yep, ska penis music. That sounds like this. Oh, this looks
What
like
about you, Jake?
2000 arcade game.
It's so weird. I have a copy. It's actually fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't like saved any specific ska music in my head for being ska music, so it'd be hard to like.
Was
look
it a
through
rock
my
band that
brain
had
for
a
one.
saxophone? Can you think of any of those?
Madness, maybe?
What about a band that had a trumpet? We're just good to the next question. Ready for the next question?
Jake only listens to bands with guitar and bass and drums and maybe piano if he's feeling up to
I
it.
feel like I listen to so many like different kinds of music without paying attention to what genre they are that like there probably is some ska music that I really like if I came on and be like, oh, I love that song, but I'm not going to be able to name it by its name.
That's okay.
Yeah.
One of these days, you'll listen to ska and you'll be able to answer this question. Months later, you just be in this call or asking a random question, answering, and you're like, "Oh my god, this ska song, this one right
It's gonna
here."
be 10
It's like,
episodes
oh.
later.
The specific song.
Will and Will Studios, classic questioner, longtime questioner. What was that thing? Like longtime listener, first time questioner. Radio shows. You should anyway. Question for Daphina this week: do you plan on having Meat Canyon or any other guests in your past videos be on the podcast? If they want to be on, yeah. Would you guys be cool with Meat Canyon?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jake, do you have any predisposition? That was very hard for me to say. Against Meat Canyon?
I don't.
Can we allow him on, Jake? Jake, can we allow him on? I know you really hate him for some reason.
You're
Very
the final
spookily.
guard. Your word is law.
You're like,
Speak now.
Meat Canyon, very scary. Oh no, he's very mean.
Now there
He murdered
definitely has
puppies.
been people that you were like, we could have him on, and I was like, no. But not Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon's fine.
Yeah, Meat Canyon's great. Meat Canyon, if you're listening, and me sending you a DM after this episode releases, I can just say, hey. Rec D,
Yes.
the Dude 97.
Yeah.
Now this is different from the Dude 96 who we previously had on.
All right.
Question for Rec D. With rhythm games still on track in the mainstream, what? Oh, hold on. As I was reading it, like someone typed a long question, so it kind of bumped up. Okay, with rhythm games still on track in the mainstream, what confidence can you give to those in the indie gaming?
You mean in terms of making new rhythm games?
I think that's what they mean. Because I remember
Well-
there was Scratch Melody. That
Well,
was pretty nice.
I'll tell you this. It's not a fluke. Not only has there been FNF, not only has it brought on like a huge wave of new, indie rhythm. Even before FNF, there was stuff like Fruit Ninja and Beat Saber and Geometry Dash and Just Shapes and Beats. Rhythm has become a huge genre again, and I will admit FNF specifically has pushed character-based rhythm to be big again. Even past that and past Scratch and Melody, just recently, there's been another rhythm game, I think it's called like Bits and Bytes or something, that is a Rhythm Heaven influenced game that just hit Kickstarter.
I think the thing about, or what makes games widely popular, is how easily you can mod them. Because if you remember
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
way back in the 90s Doom, they just said, yeah, mod it. We might even release the packs. And
Hell
like, yeah, I want to
yeah.
make shit for this game.
Opening a game that people care about is the number one way to make it huge, and killing it. Actually, I have a similar story. I have a story for how the opposite can happen too. One of the best games I have played all year, and one of the best games I've played in a long time. Nippon Ichi Software. They normally publish Disgaea and a bunch of like
Yay.
RPGs and stuff. They released a game called Mad Rat Dead. It is a rhythm platformer. It is very cleverly designed. The entire soundtrack is genuinely one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game. The story is heartbreaking and kind of beautiful. And
Yeah, I've seen this character
copyright,
before.
yeah, that guy. And this copyright claims the goddamn uploads that play the music. And not
Oh.
just like, not Content ID, Channel Strike. They single-handedly killed their own fucking game because anyone that dared to give them free marketing was punished for it.
Wow.
Yup.
I've never seen a Let's Play of it.
Yeah, they were just
That's probably
randomly
gone.
striking down some channels. Not every single one, but they're striking down channel. I'm like, man, I would love to do one of these songs with lyrics. And then I just see channels going down the reviews saying, this is the third time I have to upload this because it keeps on getting killed. I'm like, okay, never touching that, cool.
You were saying, Jake?
It's like it's almost as if like working with the artists in your community and letting them like do things, make things, share things is actually good for like
Yeah.
art, both
crazy to think.
economically and like popularly.
And stuff will go through phases. I won't lie with like being in the FNF bunkers just about as long as Jake's been, if not longer. There's been so many phases. There was the character gets angry and then screams at you phase, which was all inspired by week 6 of the original game and just kept spiraling. There was like 3 months where every single mod was based on Madness after Tricky got big. And then there was the rise of Sonic EXE and YouTube Kids Horror. And Pibby, which...
Pibby.
Jake is at fault for, but also continues to make amazing mods for.
It's for fun.
Yeah, for fun.
But for Pan,
Yeah.
before we actually talk about this little thing, apparently for Mad Rat Dead, for the special edition, comes with a cassette. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cassette for the music. I like that. Even though, do you have a... Wait. Wrecked, I believe you probably would have a cassette player for some reason. Do you have one?
I have a record player that has a cassette deck inside it.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Does Mad Rat Dead feature any Disgaea
I
content?
think there might be one little cameo. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think there's they always put a Disgaea cameo in everything they release.
Yeah, gotta put the
This is how
Prinnies
this
in.
is. Yeah, throw a Prinny in there. They actually, oh my god, actually a couple years ago when they were doing doing like a competition for the re-release of Prinny Wanna Be a Hero, where they just like make you yell, "Do it, dude!" into a mic, and you like send in your recording, and the winner would actually be put into the game as one of the Prinny voice clips.
Yes.
I did not win it, but they did mail me 2 posters. One of which is
nice.
ripped up and destroyed, and one of which is still here.
What the fuck happened to the poster?
Moving 2 times!
Ah, yeah. Damn.
But Pan,
You got it,
Got it.
dude.
I got a great question for you.
Yeah.
By the cool username
Want to be a
Clownweed.
pretty dude?
Question, Pan Pizza.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider doing a video about Cat Scratch and its mature comic series?
Oh no, Cat Scratch by Doug TenNapel, a person everybody loves. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've...
You all deal
Scooting
with
away
that.
from that,
I'm not
what's
dealing
the,
with that.
What's the comic series about? Sounds like...
I think it was from a comic called Gear about characters in like a war setting or something, and the Cat Scratch cats were actually like side characters in this other comic, and a lot of
That's
them
unique.
get killed or mutilated or whatever.
Oh my
I
god.
think if you were going to make a video about it, it would have to be like children's shows that came from mature graphic novels.
Well, in
like
general,
that.
there is a lot of cartoons that started with like a mature rated pilot, like Whoop Ass Stew
Yeah,
became
yeah.
Powerpuff Girls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or the classic The
There's
Tick.
what was it? Like Harry and Steve or something became Family Guy. It
Oh,
was like
Larry
when-
and Steve, yes.
Larry
think
Well,
for-
that was the opposite. That was supposed to be like a pseudo kid-ish show.
and then it turned into Family Guy. Yeah.
But I have a great question for Primary Jake and Rec. Question by Hyperba. Primary. They have this in parentheses, so I gotta read it. Primary for Jake and Rec, but the rest can answer too. What are your musical inspirations, be it artists, musical genres, or songs? We'll just stick to like music stuff. Just stick to that.
Ooh, okay, this is a good one. Jake, you go first.
Phew. Let's see. I guess some of my biggest musical inspirations. I know that Steven Universe pushed me to do more dramatic and more emotional kinds of music, especially like making weird chords and such, and
Mhm.
wanting it to dance as much as possible. And then Sonic probably pushed me to want to have a little bit more funk.
So Michael Jackson, Rebecca Sugar. Cool. Rec,
There
do
you go.
you?
I have
Michael
too
Jackson
many
or
to
Rebecca
list
Sugar.
every single one. The biggest ones, probably the biggest one, period, is Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys' Baroque Pop Experimental period. I have listened to Smile longer than I have listened to any other song on Earth. I love every single part of it, even the weird, scary parts. I've listened to most of their other albums.
I think I've heard a bit about that weird experimental phase that they kept getting compared to the Beatles and felt like they had to do something.
Oh, there's so much interesting about it. So it's not even just that they're compared to the Beatles. They're sort of like in a rivalry, like a Nintendo Sega trying to one up each other. But they
It's
they were
like-
actually friends.
It's the rivalry sounds a lot more like what's the best way to put it? The Atari Lynx and the Game Boy.
Yeah, I mean the thing
There's
is
a fan base.
The thing is, so this is the thing. I have tried to present this argument so many places. Nobody ever takes it. Now you got to deal with it. The Beach Boys is a perfect analog of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
What?
Yes. Okay, so hear me out. early Beach Boys, it's all like fun, girls in cars stuff. It's like the stuff that 60-year-olds listen to feel better about themselves.
Oh,
So, and don't get me wrong, they're still fun songs.
I'll be
but
60
as
next
the series,
week.
as this, just like the classic Sonic games, nobody hates Girls in Cars Beach Boys. You're like, it's good. Some of it's still enjoyable to this day, but nobody's going back and playing Sonic 1 nowadays,
Oh god, I'd go farthest Sonic 2.
Yeah. Most people started Sonic 2. And then they go through this wild sort of transitional era where, number one, Brian starts doing drugs, and number two, Brian starts being hailed as a genius after Pet Sounds happens. So they have this giant thing that's going to become huge, that's about to become revolutionary, that's something that's never been done before after the genuine successes. And it all falls apart internally because of all the fighting and because it goes over budget and because everything goes to hell, just like Sonic Extreme. And as this continues on, eventually they have a revival. In the 70s after that, they sort of start getting their groove back. They have a couple genuine hit albums, like the Sonic Adventure era. And then things get weird. The Beach Boys chase every genre, every type of song, no matter how terrible of an idea it is, they do it. There is a Brian Wilson rap song.
Hell
it is the
yeah.
worst rap song you will ever hear in your life.
No,
it's called Smart
dear.
Girls,
Smart
in which the
Girls.
chorus is sexy legs with high IQs.
Well, it's like when Korn, for some reason, made a dubstep album.
Oh yes, please
So
tell me.
yeah.
The Beach Boys. Did they
Beach
do like
Boys?
new metal or anything?
I do not doubt that they have done something on the side of metal at some point. Their experimental era went from about I'm gonna say the late 70s to early 90s, and then Brian Wilson got a little bit more mentally sound. But the big thing that ended up happening, and this is the nail in the casket for the Sonic thing. The Beach Boys were like fading out of existence. They were long forgotten. So much so that Murray Wilson, Brian's father, sold their entire catalog for only like $700,000. And they lost the rights to a lot of their music for a while. But they did this song for a movie, and the song was called Kokomo. And this song single-handedly propelled them into this huge wave of people obsessing over the nostalgia over old Beach Boys songs, made them a tangible brand again, sort of brought back the general interest, just like Sonic Generations.
Whenever I see pictures of the Beach Boys or like promotional material, they don't really fit the name. Like on screen right now, they're wearing jeans and like long shirts.
Oh no, it's a horrible name. It's a horrible name for them. I forget what they wanted to be called, something else at first, and they would be forced to call the Beach Boys. I think they were they were going to be called the the Pendletones is the Beatles. It was going to be Beach Boys prototype name. I usually know this. It's been a while since I've
This
been
sounds
obsessed
very
with Beach
exciting.
Boys. Beach
I'm
Boys lore.
salivating.
All right, what was their prototype name, son of a bitch?
While you're researching that, it's like the misnomer that Sonic was going to be called like Penny the Pine Needle or something.
Mr.
Yeah,
Needle Mouse.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was. It was going to be the Pendletones.
The Pendletones.
The-
That sounds
Oh, the
stupid.
Critter
Pun
Adventure
on
Time?
Pendleton, which was a style of wooden shirt. I've gone on this rant for way too long. I'm also very influenced by Jake Kaufman / Vert, as well as Ken Ashcorp's songs and a bunch of video games, especially Mother 3. All right, cool.
So circling back just for a brief bit, and we'll get to the next thing.
Yeah.
So you see how there's like a little very scratchy thing that says Mr. Needle?
Yep,
Like
that's
people say
Mr. Needle
Mr.
Mouse.
Nails?
Yep.
That's not what it translates to.
What does it translate to?
That is very chicken scratch Japanese for hedgehog.
Oh my
Mr.
god.
Hedgehog.
There was
That's really
Did You Know
funny.
Gaming about it.
Oh wow. We have been living a lie.
If you translate those two words literally, you get needle mouse. But if you put them together, you get Harinazumi, which in Japanese simply means hedgehog. That's it.
Yeah, that's one of those long misconceptions that people believed. It's in every Did You Know fun fact video. Like one very common Did You Know thing I hear a lot from animation is that they said that the creator of Dexter, Powerpuff Girls, and Johnny Bravo all lived in the same dorm together in college, but it's not right. It wasn't the creator of Johnny Bravo. It was for Teenage Robot. So it was Robert Zetti, Gendy, and Craig McCracken.
And the Crackhead, the classic.
But yeah, I guess the average person doesn't remember Teenage Robot, so they just leave that out and change it with Johnny Bravo.
Like the average person doesn't remember Cat Scratch.
Nah.
Question, Snoogans. This is a person with a very clearly cut reference to your favorite show, Pan.
Huh.
Clerks.
Yay.
Animated series. Question. What's some weird stuff you've seen at conventions? I remember Pan's old vids where he talked about stuff he's seen at Comic-Con panels.
Oh,
I'm curious
boy.
if there's anything else. So I'm guessing this is an everyone question.
I'm guessing so, yeah.
Oh, man.
We'll start with... Nope, not you. Jake.
Oh.
You haven't been talking so much this round. Jake, talk.
Wah.
Wah. Convention stuff.
What's the weirdest thing I've seen at a convention?
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory of going to a Brony convention when me and a former friend were like pretty young, and my mom was telling my sister, "Stop staring! It's very rude." And she's like, "But Mom, look!" Like we both turn our heads, and it's like some like really, really, really old man, in like one of those automatic wheelchairs, completely dressed as Pinkie Pie. I don't think that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen at a convention, but it certainly was like the weirdest first things. And I don't think it was necessarily him that made it weird. It was the fact of the conversation surrounding it. I was just kind of like...
That was pretty weird. What about you, Rect?
Oh boy! Alright, so I gotta break this into things. The strangest thing I have seen was Naked Sexy Wario getting arrested for being Naked Sexy Wario.
What?
The weirdest
Like,
thing...
Wait, what part of that was why he got arrested? The naked part or the Wario part?
The sexy part.
Oh, okay.
He was wearing like a G-string.
Go on.
Anyway, the strangest thing that has been done to me was way back, I think Screw Attack Gaming Con 2014.
wow.
I was there, and JonTron was there, and a bunch of the Screw Attack guys were there. That's where I met Brentalfoss. And I'm going through the sales floor, and there is a Sega Nomad on the table. I'm like, oh boy, that's rare. So just to give context, people aren't game collectors. Sega Nomad's a portable Sega Genesis. They didn't make a lot of them. They sold like crap. You had to pay like $120 for one back then. Nowadays, you're lucky to get one for $200. So I got $22 in my pocket. I'm not getting this thing. I'm just like, what the hell? I want to see how much he's selling it for. So he walks up. I walk up to him. I say, hey, how much is the Sega Nomad? He sees me. He starts sweating, gets real nervous. He starts looking. His eyes get shifty. He's like, how much you got? I'm like, okay, this is immediately weird. I'm like, I got $22. That's enough. I'll take it. I'm like, are you sure?
What?
It's a Nomad. Does it work? He's like, yeah, I just tested it. Take it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I go to another table. I tested it. Works. I'm like, okay, yeah, here's the $22. I get a working Sega Nomad. I'm like, why the hell did this guy just sell me a Sega Nomad for $22? And as I'm walking away from the table, I overhear him saying, I can't believe I just sold a Sega Nomad to JonTron!
Oh, no!
That's... You know what? Let him believe it.
Let
Let him
him
believe that. That's
Let
fine.
him believe it. I hope he doesn't watch the podcast so his dream isn't ruined.
I'm sure JonTron actually came to his thing later. He's like, whoa, you got some nice stuff. He's like, you're already here, dude.
Oh, man. Reminds me
No,
of someone stole my commission.
The last strange thing that's happened as a con is what I've done to someone else. This was the first con I ever went to. This was YumaCon 2013, I think. So I went to a con with all the Sonic Paradox people. This was like right after Seaside Denied and Metropolis Mayhem were like released. So very early on. And, there's people all trying to meet us. We got like guest badges and whatever. And there's this one guy that comes up and is like really uncomfortably close to me, but I'm this dumb teenager, so I have no idea. And it's the guy's clearly, he's trying to like use me to get into Sonic Paradox. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take you to meet him. And this guy forgot one thing, didn't know one thing about me. I have an awful sense of direction. I wound up instead of getting him to the show floor where Sonic Paradox was, I led him into the unlit dark electrical room somehow. And eventually this guy starts sweating like, why are you leaving me here? I'm like, we're almost there. And this guy's like probably thinking, oh my god, he's about to kill me. And he just like, okay, I'm turning around, I'm going, bye. And he just runs out. I'm like, that's weird. And then somehow I managed to get to the show floor after that, but right after traumatizing someone
This
unintentionally.
poor person trying their best to get to a place.
Oh my god. Wild. Conventions are crazy.
I think the weirdest thing I've seen.
I'm trying to think of a convention story that one that I haven't covered in any video. And I remember my first year, 2011, just being at the Warner Brothers booth. And it was just like, I don't know, they were just having a bunch of like costume characters dancing amongst themselves, like Lumpy Space Princess and Finn from Adventure Time. And right behind me, there was just some lady screaming at like some technician guy saying, "It's too freaking loud. I can't understand. I'm next door. You're making it hard for me to carry a conversation," or something.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I recorded a brief snippet of it, but I don't. It's like on my old iPhone from like 2011. So maybe
You
it's
don't got
still
iCloud
there.
back up?
It wasn't exciting at all. Like just some Karen yelling. This is fine.
Well, no, I said iCloud backup for iPhones.
I don't trust the iCloud.
How do you save your photos, man?
Ride or die. If it
Do you directly put them on your PC?
yeah, if it does, it does.
You're the worst at like media preservation. I asked you like, hey, how do you save your videos? And you're like, I just delete them.
Oh no! I put them in like a terabyte hard drive. Two of them.
Yeah, just a hard drive with no backup or anything. If that thing gets lost, it's gone. It's gone. There's no redundancy. Electrical storm. Boom, gone.
Well, it's unplugged
Like,
usually, so it's fine.
What was it? There was this one story about the N64. What was it? Two people are playing Mario 64, trying to do a speed run, and there was a glitch from space.
Oh yeah. It was like a solar flare that screwed it over.
Yes, it was a ionizing particle from space collided with the N64, causing an eighth of a bit to change Mario's height from 11000101 to 11000100, boosting him from like one place to another in the clock tower. So it's like that's gonna happen to your hard drive.
What?
It's gonna turn to Mario, exactly.
That's insane.
Well, yeah, don't you know about those fun solar flare things where you lose power for a bit and it comes back on?
Yeah.
Space is scary. Don't go there.
Yeah, space sounds horrifying from everything I hear from it.
tell
Wouldn't
that.
recommend travel.
Oh no, actually, we have one more question.
Huh.
After I answer the weirdest thing. Someone asking Pan to step on them.
No.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. And this is a 2-for-1. Someone asking you to hold the leash of that person.
No.
That was pretty weird. Pan didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. They seemed into it.
But yeah, Momocon, like
You
somebody
really
asked,
put that.
asked me to do that. I was like,
Oh my God.
no, thank you.
So if you want to do that, don't.
Yeah.
It made Pan very uncomfortable.
Ew.
Jake will do it.
Yeah, that's gross.
I'll do what?
You'll step on someone.
Maybe.
That's good. That's a good maybe. Last question. This is more of a funny little question. Why does Bro's avatar? This is from White E. Why does Bro's avatar resemble Mysterious Mr. Enter? Your YouTube channel avatar.
Oh, mine?
Yes.
Oh my god, this is a really funny story.
It looks like Mr. Enter.
Yeah. So this is actually a piece of fan art that was done for me for Christmas by my friend Falero, who's probably most well known for doing the Knuckles shorts and Sonic shorts and voicing one of the characters in Team 4-Star Dragon Ball Z and like writing for them for a while. So it's just this picture of me singing. And the character in the back, everyone always asks me, who's the guy? Who's the evil guy? Sometimes I'd just be like really exhausted while I was in group calls and just start mumbling nonsense. So we started calling it Subcon, and it showed up there, and I changed it. I changed my avatar to that maybe in like 2017, 2018. And I'm like, okay, well, before I get big, I'm gonna change my avatar. And then FNF grew me by like 5 times in a month, and now I'm like 500K. I'm like, dang, can I change my avatar?
You can update.
This reminds me of the classic anti-reviewer. You know, like whenever the Nostalgia Critic reviews something and then someone tries to stop him.
Oh my
That's
God,
you, but for music.
Evil gamer. I got my own evil gamer.
It's an evil gamer that tries to stop you from playing games, but you don't do that, so he's just constantly like, you sure you don't want to play this game? And you're like, no, I'm actually making some music instead.
I'm recording a song. I'm playing the game song with lyrics. I'm writing lyrics to the game about how bad it is.
You're like, oh wait, which game is it? And it's like, you just name the game. It's like, oh, I actually like that game. You can,
Yeah, I actually like that one.
you can do that. And
I have done Bubsy 3D with lyrics. I have done Bubsy 3D with lyrics.
It sounds pretty funny.
It was actually pretty enjoyable. I was doing an impersonation of the Lanny Minella Bubsy specifically.
And can you do something like that right here, right now?
Oh my god,
A little
I
Bubsy.
need a little Bubsy. There's a couple different ones. Well, it wouldn't be a platform game without platforms. An arrow! It's been a while since I've played the game. I remember all the messages.
Aren't these
These game designers wonderful? Yeah. It's very
He's like
over the
a
top.
male furry version of Harley Quinn.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
was thinking
god.
Roger Rabbit, but sure.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
That
just
too.
thinking there's this one forum where people, I remember reading about a long time ago. There's just these screenshots of this one forum where these people would get like fake marriage certificates to say they're married to Sonic the Hedgehog or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And they had like this forum like talk about all the sexy characters you're into. And there's like all these different forum threads, and there's like, here's the Sonic topic, and there's a bunch of replies. Here's the Rocket Knight topic, and there's a couple. Here's the Bubsy topic. 0 threads.
It reminds me when they had
Oh,
that Q&A on Twitter, and someone asked if they could marry Shadow, and he said yes.
He said
Under
yes.
3 conditions. You must iron my
did say
sheets. You must... Okay, it was iron his sheets, you must make the food exactly based on what it was on the arc, and you must know his 19-step skin routine.
Yep.
It's like, that's it? Okay.
That's it. Then you can marry Shadow the Hedgehog and listen to him sob about Maria for 12 hours a day.
Do
Maria!
you think they really did get married?
Why not?
Yeah, of course.
They're ordained. They can do it.
They can do it. You marry a fictional hedgehog who's like in his
Yeah.
50s.
I never seen a tweet. It was like, this is actually what Sonic looks like. It's just a bunch of moving squares and rectangles. Like, we were supposed to be surprised by that.
God,
Like,
that one.
yeah.
No,
was
wait.
so tempted.
I remember when I saw that, and like people were being really weird about that post because like it was a fucking game developer who was developing like a Sonic engine thing, and he
Oh
was
my
making a
God.
joke.
That got
That was
taken.
that was supposed to be written as a joke?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
that was a
people caught it.
joke.
That
It was
is
a
not
gag.
read as a joke. Good God.
I was just so
It
tempted
looked
to
like
guarantee it.
I could see it could be misinterpreted as one of those existential things where it's like we're all just dust in the wind.
It's
you
like
know?
this game was actually Thomas was alone this whole time.
Yeah.
It's a Sonic fan game developer.
No.
Why would he be serious?
Oh,
It would have
yeah.
been funny if he said, this is what you've been playing the whole time, and then the second post is actually, this wasn't Sonic at all. It was Home Improvement for the SNES.
Oh my god, Home Improvement. that game is.
What the hell?
That
is
game
that
is.
That game is.
Sonic.
It has dinosaurs and everything.
It's like I mean I know it has dinosaurs, but I never made it past like the first level or two, so I don't know what's beyond the first level.
I got past the first 2 levels, but it gets really hard really fast. And it's like there's 2 types of platformers in the 90s. Platformers that are good and platformers that are not straight left to right.
Yeah,
Except Super Metroid.
the
Except Super
non-linear
Metroid.
ones, like they're
The
not.
non-linear platforms in the 90s are not good.
Yeah, like if it's like a Metroidvania, sure, but if it's just like
Yeah.
get to the end, but to get there is like a maze. Fuck you.
You gotta get into a maze and you gotta like collect five magic green farts or whatever. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, like there was
green
this new
farts.
Pac-Man collection of games that they released, and they released this
Yeah.
new
fucking time.
Super Nintendo Pac-Man game that's a platformer, but just like the old Pac-Man, you had to collect all the dots before you can move to the next
Okay,
level.
so there's actually a really
Mhm.
funny story about Pac in Time.
Oh, boy.
It's not a Pac-Man game.
You sure?
It's an Amiga game called Fury of the Furries, which got a Pac-Man reskin for the console re-releases.
Awesome.
And yes, it is really called Fury of the Furries. Look it up. It's the same game.
Yay.
I remember watching a Larry Bundy Jr. video about, what was it, gaming licenses, where someone makes a game for Japan, but you can't use that same license in Britain, so they just use the same everything and change out the characters.
Yep, it happens. There's even cases of it happening in reverse. There's a Jetsons game for Super Nintendo that got localized in Japan. So in the US version, it's George Jetson sweeping up things with like a vacuum cleaner. In Japan, it's an anime girl running around swallowing things with a disembodied head.
It sounds way cooler than Jetson.
It is, and it's a better game. They patched a lot of the bugs in the US version and the Japanese version.
Wait, so
It's like how
the US version's better?
No, the Japanese version's better.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The one with anime girl with severed head.
with depending for GameCube games, I remember there's a lot of regional differences. Not for that game specifically, but I think it was Wario World for the GameCube.
Yes, yeah. The final boss of the gem's different.
It's way easier for the American version. That was released way later on and everything, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh my
really
god,
cool. Really cool reference. Really cool reference to that. With Sonic Frontiers, I don't consider this a spoiler. Don't play the final boss on normal mode. Set it to hard, or it will skip the final boss.
Oh, that's
I'm not joking. That actually happened to me, and I felt
That's
so
true.
destroyed by it.
Oh.
Well, I haven't played it in a bit, but wasn't it like you used to like this mode because you want to hang out and have a good time?
No,
this
they
mode's a
completely
bit
screwed it up.
challenging.
They completely screwed it up. You can play the rest of the game on normal, but set it to hard before you go into go in and fight the final boss. Otherwise, you will not fight the final boss.
Just like olden times.
It just goes to the ending.
You just go to the second final boss, and that's the final boss.
No, that's the one it skips.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it skips the true final boss.
I do need to play more of it, because I had a lot of fun with Sonic Frontiers.
I enjoyed it. I was stuck on it for a week, and I was just like absolutely farming the big fish stuff to like blast through the last island, because like for the first week of it, I gotta play this game before Twitter spoils it for me.
I feel like Sonic Frontiers should have been what Sonic 2006 was trying to be.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, I
But-
get
Pretty
you.
much.
We do know the classic development schedule, where they had to make a Wii game for the Sonic Wii game, and they're like,
Yep.
this is gonna run on the Wii. Do you want to? Can we not do that? And they said, no, we already signed the contract. Split the team.
Yep, split the team. Oh man, Sonic 2006. That is
But
tragedy.
no, we get the split up.
What?
This podcast, it's over.
Okay.
The episode's over. It's a bit
Okay.
late.
Okay.
Been going for a while.
Yeah, it's like one of the longer ones at. I don't know the
Hey.
timestamps, so we'll have like
It never ends.
we'll have some audio,
I have too many dumb
It's like
stories.
40 minutes plus 35.
1 hour and 18 minutes.
whatever that is. Who knows numbers? Not us.
Yeah.
Rec D might know numbers, but I don't know any of us. Who knows numbers?
I have a producer specifically because I don't know numbers.
You have a numbers guy.
I have a numbers guy.
Are you?
So
wait,
true.
are you at the stage of your life where you have a guy for everything?
Almost.
Like, okay, what do you not have a guy for yet?
The rest of my life.
The rest of your life. Wait, okay. What's next? Do you have a car guy?
No.
Okay, that's the end of the list. That's the only
Yeah.
thing you need to know now.
Yeah.
The car guy.
Yeah. No.
Change a tire, car guy. Oil change, car guy. Windshield wiper fluid,
Car guy.
change.
It's-
Headlight fluid, change.
Oh wait, no. I guess I technically no. He died. I don't have him.
Yeah, that would ruin a guy being dead.
Yeah. Oh,
They can't help anymore.
I got the dead guy.
Oh, you have a dead guy? Yeah, when we
Yeah.
go get him.
Yeah.
We don't
Slowly
need him.
Drags. We don't need him, but you know, in case you want to feel good about being alive, here's a reminder. Here's
How would that make you
here's
feel
your
good about
memento
being
mori,
alive?
like Markiplier.
Oh.
Go on. Remember that channel that people said, stop re-uploading, it defeats the purpose.
Oh,
And
right, it
people
was
were
that
like,
thing.
I want to watch episodes.
I don't remember that shit. I didn't
I
see
saw
it.
like one before it died because I thought, oh, this is kind of cool, and I watched the video. I'm like, this is
Mr.
like-
Beast does this every day. I don't give a
Jump.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kills people every day.
Yeah,
But-
fuck this.
Good night, everyone.
Pretentious bullshit.